This trade proposal is actually sickening for the Phoenix Suns, as we're going to dive in and explore a recent report dropped on a new trade linking the Phoenix Suns to another team that has a lottery pick, but also another wing that could replace Kevin Durant. So we're going to dive in and explore this possible trade, in which I think is absolutely disgusting and sickening for the Phoenix Suns, and I don't think either team would consider doing. Welcome, guys, back to Suns Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. Thank you guys so much for your guys' support on the channel over these last couple of days for Ben and I on these videos. We really do appreciate all the love you guys have been showing us in the comment section and by hitting the like button. But we do want to let you guys know that roughly right around 65% of you guys who watch these videos are not subscribed, though. So if you want to make sure you stay up to date on everything revolving around this Phoenix Suns team, and even catch the live streams on Thursday afternoons breaking down the recent news on this Phoenix Suns squad, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on everything. But without further ado, we're going to dive in and we're going to get into this video at hand today. So make sure to grab that snack and let's dive into it. And my first initial reaction when I first saw this tweet was, What even am I looking at when we see this trade proposal? And that's what we're going to be diving and getting into, like I said, in this episode here on Suns Digest. And this article is courtesy of Sam Quinn, who works for CBS Sports. It follows Sam Quinn on Twitter. He did a little bit of a cool live stream with Yossi Goslin. And shout out to Sam Quinn for his fantastic work over at CBS, but he came up with 5 mock trades after the post-lottery moves, where we see teams really finding out who's going to get the number 1 overall pick. And in one of these deals, he included the Phoenix Suns and the Philadelphia 76ers. You could tell by the thumbnail, you could tell by the intro video, it was going to involve the 76ers, and it would be Kevin Durant being sent to Philadelphia for Paul George and the 2025 number 3 overall pick. And this is really, really confusing on both ends from my side. Obviously, if you're the 76ers, you're trading away a bad contract in Paul George and giving up your number 3 overall pick as that, thing to put it over the top to acquire Kevin Durant. And Durant would be fantastic, adding alongside Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, and Joel Embiid, signing Quentin Grimes. They would be able to compete in this Eastern Conference, specifically with a weaker Eastern Conference. And it would be good for a team like the Sixers, specifically when they already lost out on Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper. There is no, standout player besides Ace Bailey or VJ Edgecombe that could really take this 76ers team over the top with these said players. And maybe they feel Kevin Durant can do so. And we've seen so far from Durant this season that he can do that for this Phoenix Suns team, right? 26.6 points, 6 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and 1.2 blocks, while averaging shooting 52% from the field and 43% from three-point range. We all know Kevin Durant is a superstar player and can play to that likes and level. Obviously, though, Daryl Morey has made it clear that he does not want to trade this number 3 overall pick, and that he would like to continue to build with this team. So I don't think that it makes sense for the 76ers to even go out and do so, but it could possibly happen with this squad. I think when you look at it from the Suns' perspective is where it gets sickening and gross, because taking on Paul George and his contract is going to be terrible for this Phoenix Suns team, specifically when you already have Devin Booker and Bradley Beal's $50 million contracts on this team. We are not trading a $50 million contract to add another one, specifically one that is longer term as well. We look at Paul George's contract here, 49 this year, but 51 next year, 54 the year after that, and $56 million with that player option. The Phoenix Suns are trying to avoid and get out of this with Bradley Beal, and might have to even waive Bradley Beal, all due to the fact that they have put themselves in this terrible position. So I don't think the 3rd overall pick is even close to worth putting yourself into that struggle bus once again with another bad contract in Paul George. If we want to dive in and look at Paul George's stats on for the season, obviously dealt with some injuries this year, but 16.2 points, 5.3 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 0.5 blocks, 1.8 steal, shooting 43% from the field, and around 36% shooting from 3. You compare that to Kevin Durant's stats, who Kevin Durant is 1 year older and had some injuries as well this season. It is clear night and day difference on these two players. And obviously, the Phoenix Suns, right, if they're doing this deal, they are getting the number 3 overall pick back, a player, like I mentioned, in VJ Edgecombe or Ace Bailey that could, transform this team alongside Devin Booker to really hit that reset. But ultimately, I don't think that makes any sense at all. If you're the Phoenix Suns, if you're looking to move Kevin Durant, you're trying to get young talent, but also multiple contracts on this team, right? The Phoenix Suns have 7 players under contract right now. And if they were to perform this trade, they would be getting rid of Kevin Durant, bringing in Paul George and another number 3 overall pick, and still be in second apron issues with Paul George, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker's contract. And I could clearly see, and I can just have the vision right now of Paul George once again, like we've seen. We want to look at his contract, making $51, $54, and $56 million on a player option at age 37, being another case of Bradley Beal for this Phoenix Suns team. And I do not want to see that happen, do not want to have that unfold, and have Phoenix Suns fans have to go through all this drama and dilemma that we've had to go through with this season. I like Sam Quinn. I appreciate you for coming up with the idea, but if I'm the Phoenix Suns, I am saying no, 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 no. And I think the Sixers ultimately are going to say no as well. I don't think that they would trade away their number 3 overall pick. They want to stay young with this core. Maybe if it was a younger player, right, someone that could fit a little bit more into their timeline that was available, maybe like a Scotty Barnes or an RJ Barrett or something like that, maybe they'd be willing to, I don't even know if RJ Barrett's worth the number 3 overall pick, but someone like that, they'd be willing to trade up that number 3 overall pick with a player like Paul George to get off that contract. But ultimately, I think this is a no-go for the Phoenix Suns. I am saying no. I don't want that number 3 overall pick, and I still think the Suns can entertain some potential destinations with Kevin Durant besides the 76ers. We broke this down in our video yesterday, where if you missed that video, definitely check that out. But one team that we've seen linked to the Phoenix Suns and the Houston Rockets is said to no longer be interested in Durant or potentially Devin Booker. Now, if you think that Devin Booker obviously was told, maybe non-tradable, that's why they don't want to go get him, and they're just, spinning some false narrative about Jalen Green going to potentially be better than Devin Booker in 3 to 5 years and is cheaper, yada, yada, yada. I don't understand that. But Kevin Durant, I could maybe see them feeling that he isn't in their timeline, which is a little confusing, but is understandable. So with that, there's still some other possibilities and other teams as well to explore, right? We just saw Dallas get the number 1 overall pick. We saw San Antonio get the number 2 overall pick. And I'm not saying that Kevin Durant's going to be able to net you the number 1 or number 2 overall pick, but some sort of draft package or young talent piece might be able to swing it for you if you're able to trade that superstar to a team who just got lucky in moving up the draft. Other teams are also interested as well, as Miami, Minnesota, and I'm sure multiple other teams will be interested in a player like Kevin Durant as the season starts to get closer to an end. So all we'll know revolving around that will be brought to you here on Suns Digest with updates. But as right now, Kevin Durant, not interested by the Rockets. Devin Booker, not interested by the Rockets. And personally, Kevin Durant going to the Sixers, in my eyes, is a no-go. I would not do this if I'm Brian Gregory. And if Brian Gregory were to pull this move, right, it's a clear night and day situation of proving that this team is going to be bad, it's going to tank. And ultimately, at that point, if I were Devin Booker, I would request a trade because it's clear as day that this team is not going to be going in the direction of competing with me and as their number 1 guy. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this trade. I think it's sickening, even though I do appreciate Sam Quinn's work. And even in this article, he did say that Daryl Morey most likely doesn't agree with this trade. It most likely doesn't happen, but he's just throwing it out there. So I'm not going to go too arch on him as well. But once again, thank you for this article, Sam. I know you're not watching the video, but absolute fantastic job over on this article with the rest of the trades that I saw on it as well. If you guys enjoyed the content, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll be live on Thursday, once again at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. So definitely don't want to miss that as well. Once again, thank you guys so much. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and go Phoenix Suns. Peace out, everyone.